everybody, how's it going? Stavman coming back at you, and today I'm going to be talking to you about some Blu-rays that I got from Amazon, actually. They recently had a bunch of titles go down to about, all these were either $5.99 or less. I believe one of them was under $5.99, but it was $5, and anything that's like $5 or less on Amazon almost invariably is part of their program, where even with Amazon Prime, you still have to pay $25 or more, buy $25 or more worth of stuff in order to get free shipping on it. So, luckily there was a bunch of other stuff I was actually buying at the time. A bunch of other Blu-rays I was buying for $5.99 or thereabouts, that I had enough in my cart that I could get that one for $5 free shipping as well. That said, let's get into this. The first title I got, now that I look at it, realize was actually a little bit more than $5.99, and that would be American Graffiti. This one was like, God, it was $6.20, $6.30. I don't even remember exactly how much, but it was a fairly low price, and it's one that I've wanted to put in my collection for quite a while. Just didn't feel like paying a whole lot of money for it, because it's probably not a movie that I'm going to be watching a whole heck of a lot of in the future. Might watch it once or twice, but not a whole lot. So didn't want to pay a whole lot for it, and until recently it seemed like it was like $10 or more almost all the time, every time I saw it. So yeah, when I saw it on Amazon for $6 and some change, I was like, you know what, that's a pretty good deal. George Lucas directed this one, and got a lot of notable people in this movie, so I definitely wanted to have it for my collection, just so that I could watch it if I decided I wanted to, and well, now it's in my collection. Next up, I decided to finally pick up Blue Velvet, which is a David Lynch film I actually have not seen before, and everybody keeps telling me, you need to see this movie. This movie's amazing. You absolutely have to see this movie. Well, now I can. Went down to $5.99 on Amazon, and that was the price point where I'm like, yep, I'll do that. I'll gladly do that, especially since it's like in the middle of January right now, and well, it's probably going to be February when I post this, but in fact, I can tell you right now it's going to be February. Probably the first week of February when I post this. But yeah, the point is, it's in the doldrums. It's in that time period where no physical media is ever on sale, or usually if it is on sale, it's not like a significant, huge, incredible sale, you know what I mean? They don't have great sales at this time of year. So when you see them put something like this on sale for $5.99 right now, it's like, gee, could it go to $5 or even $4 in the future? Maybe, but you're going to be waiting more than a few months to see that happen, if it ever does. So it's one of those where it's a pretty good price. You might as well go for it, and well, that's what I decided to do. Because I got tired of waiting to buy more Blu-rays, waiting to add more things to my collection. I didn't want to wait anymore. So here we go. I got Blue Velvet. Heard a lot of great things, hoping that it is as excellent as I have been told. Next up, I decided to pick up Gentleman's Agreement, which going into it I knew nothing about. I don't know anything about this movie. I've never seen it. The only thing I knew for sure was, well, it's got Gregory Peck in there, so he was a pretty notable, pretty important actor during his time. It's a classic film, as well. It's one of those from that time period in the 50s and 60s and whatnot, where they were making some of the more interesting movies that, in some cases you really don't see movies like that anymore. And I looked into the synopsis for it. I looked into what the movie's about, and it sounded very interesting to me. So just because of the subject matter, because of the concept behind the movie, I was like really interested to see what this was about. And knowing how Gregory Peck did with his role in To Kill a Mockingbird, which is just probably one of the best movies ever made, based on one of the best books ever written, obviously. I figured if he did a really freaking fantastic job in that one with its subject matter, this probably is also very good. So hoping again for the best, but it was only $5.99. Rarely do you see movies from this time period, regardless of the director, drop to $5.99. So I was just like, you know what? I gotta take a chance on it because chances are this isn't gonna be $5.99 for long, and when it goes back up, it's probably not coming back down. You know what I mean? So yeah, decided to take a chance on this. Hopefully, it's pretty good stuff. Next up, I decided to pick up Team America World Police. This is a kind of funny one. I guess the subject matter is a little bit outdated now. I mean, many would argue that the politics of the war machine and whatnot that exist in the United States, regardless of where you stand, politically speaking, on that stuff still exists to this very day. But the specific subjects, the specific things happening in this movie are not as relevant today as they were when the movie was made. It's definitely one of those that I feel like is part of the era that it was made in and can't be necessarily in all ways removed from that era without, understanding anything about the era. You know what I mean? So if you're a younger viewer and you really don't know anything about what the politics of the day were like in the early to mid 2000s, and you really didn't care and you really don't care now, then you're probably not going to understand anything happening in this movie or even why it's funny. So, yeah, I mean, there are certain aspects to it that are obviously going to be funny no matter what, but others that you just won't understand unless you kind of get what was going on at the time that the movie was made. So it's hard to call it a timeless classic because of that. But it's definitely one that I enjoyed, and knowing what I do about the politics of the day when this was made, I can watch it and enjoy it no matter what. And there are a lot of great things about this, a lot of great memories from this film, for me in particular. So I definitely had to have it in my collection. I knew I had to have it in my collection, but I was just waiting for the price to go down on this one. This is one where I've seen it at like the $7 to $8 price range for a while now, so it's not like it's ever at a terribly high price or a price I'm not willing to pay. But the second I saw it drop down to $6, $5.99, I'm like, okay, that's way more than a fair price. Gladly will pay that. So that's what I did. Now the only issue here is, of course, there's no special features on this. Nothing. I think the DVD has special features. There might be a Blu-ray release that does have special features. It is not this one, so bit of a bummer, but whatever. Only paid $5.99. And then last but not least, this is the $5 title I picked up, which is Good Morning Vietnam. This is a classic film. Again, I have to say, it's one of those that if you don't care about politics, if you don't care about the politics of the day when it was made, then you might not quite understand what they were going for in all cases with everything in the film. And you might not care. So, I don't know. But for me, again, being the kind of person I am, being a fan of Robin Williams in particular, knowing that this is one of his finer roles, I just had to get it, had to have it in my collection. And for $5, that's a really good price, a very good price. And it wasn't, I don't even think just on sale, if you will. I think it's been at the $5 price range for a while now. It's just that, because of Amazon's rule where any $5 title requires you to purchase at least $25 worth of other stuff in order to get free shipping on it. That's like their new rule with anything $5 or under when it comes to Blu-rays and physical media and stuff like that. Because of that, I didn't bother picking it up until now because I didn't have any reason to, because I wasn't buying enough stuff on Amazon at one time to get to the $25. So, yeah, finally was able to do that because I finally was spending more than $25 in one lump sum. So, yeah, glad to be able to finally get this in my collection. Great movie from one of the best actors, best comedians of all time. Sad story how he went, but definitely glad to be able to watch this and a lot of his other work as well. So, yeah. That is that. That's everything I picked up this week. I'd say it's a pretty good little haul, all things considered. Really did not pay more than $5.99 for everything except for this one. So, really, really good prices here. A cheapo haul for sure. And an interesting one at that because, you know, there's stuff in here that you wouldn't normally see. So, yeah, very happy with that haul, that pickup, if you will. So that'll do it for me today. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you later. Peace.